Ooh, baby, the girls are deep in full-on scandal mode. And this time, it's more than just shade. It's a full-blown mess. Rumor has it that Emma Stone is firmly standing behind Justin Baldoni, and in doing so, she's allegedly throwing some subtle shots at Blake Lively. Fans are applauding Emma for showing her support for Justin, but things got messy when her digs at Blake became more apparent. Some are even calling her out for labeling Blake a behind-the-scenes bully. Naturally, the internet exploded as everyone tried to piece together what really happened, and let me tell you, the tea is hotter than ever. Emma, known for her usually quiet and classy demeanor, rarely steps into drama. But this time, she let a little slip, and it's giving vibes of betrayal, sabotage, and pointed fingers. Apparently, Emma recently gave a reflective interview where she didn't name anyone directly, but fans quickly connected the dots. Every hint seemed to point straight at Blake, and now the speculation is running wild. The whole situation has fans buzzing, trying to decipher the true story behind the headlines. Immediately, Emma opened up about a former co-star who allegedly undermined her both personally and professionally. The consensus online points directly to Blake Lively. The tension reportedly began with a deeply personal project that Emma was incredibly passionate about. She wasn't just acting in it, she helped shape the entire project, from handpicking the director to assembling the cast. Emma was fully invested, determined to create something magical. At first, Blake appeared sweet and supportive during the initial table read, which gave Emma hope. But once filming began, things quickly turned shady. Blake's scenes mysteriously expanded, taking over the juiciest moments, while Emma's own major scenes were cut or minimized. Blake's team even started showing up to meetings Emma organized. Press coverage began highlighting Blake as the face of the movie, and Emma's stylist was pulled into coordinating looks that matched Blake's red carpet presence. By the time the trailer dropped, Blake was narrating it as if it were her solo project, leaving Emma with only brief appearances. What was meant to be a story about sisterhood and healing turned into a Blake-centric showcase, systematically overshadowing Emma. She, who simply wanted equal footing, ended up sidelined and publicly pushed into the background, while Blake dominated every aspect of the project. And now, with Emma finally speaking out, both the industry and fans are left grappling with the full scope of what really happened. The drama between these two Hollywood powerhouses is hotter than ever. Blake Lively took all the spotlight, and for a long time, nobody questioned it. Emma didn't throw shade or make a scene, but her quiet revelation hit harder than a ton of bricks, exposing cracks in Blake's perfectly curated image. The mask began slipping after Emma was sidelined in a movie she had helped build from the ground up. But the real betrayal didn't happen on set. It came later, in the media, and it was far from an innocent PR mistake. As the film's release approached, Blake dominated interviews, framing the project as entirely her own. Emma carried the emotional weight and fully embodied her role, yet Blake's narrative made it seem as if she had written, directed, and acted the whole thing solo, leaving Emma barely a mention. When Emma was referenced, it felt like a mere afterthought. The subtle shade was intentional. Gossip blogs exploded with blind items about a washed-up actress phoning it in. And though no names were given, the hints were obvious. Even stranger, these blind ticks mirrored exactly how Blake's team had privately described Emma behind the scenes. The final blow came when a joint magazine cover was planned to promote the film. Only Blake appeared. Emma wasn't a no-show, she simply wasn't invited. And the public was fed a story to make it seem like she had declined. That wasn't a mistake. That was a strategy. But Emma didn't clap back, rant, or drop receipts. She finished the press tour like a pro, answering every question, smiling through it, supporting a film that had slowly erased her. Critics raved about Blake's performance while Emma's was called muted, not because she underperformed, but because her best scenes had been cut. After that, Emma stepped completely back, declining similar roles, avoiding co-leads, and never working with Blake again. Fans noticed, but Emma stayed quiet. Until now. Months later, on a low-key podcast, she was asked a simple question: what's something the industry doesn't see about you? Her response sent the internet into overdrive, finally shining a light on the truth behind the drama that had long been simmering behind the scenes. Her silence spoke volumes, and for agreement, Emma added only this: I trusted someone I shouldn't have. No names. That was enough for the internet to send into full detective mode. Fans and media alike rewatched interviews, matched timelines, and dissected behind-the-scenes footage. Soon, the floodgates opened. A former co-star of Blake's posted a cryptic comment about rehearsed sisterhood. A writer claimed scripts were rewritten to favor one character's appearance over another's emotional arc. Even a costume designer hinted that Blake demanded special fittings, sometimes in scenes where Emma's character should have been the focus. The pattern became clear. Emma wasn't jealous, and she wasn't trying to outshine anyone. She had simply been erased. That soft-spoken confession resonated louder than any headline ever could. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. Blake may still occupy the spotlight, but Emma had the mic now, and what she revealed sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Fans and insiders alike were left reassessing everything, realizing that the story they thought they'd known had only been half told. As the industry, fans, and press began to connect the dots, the behind-the-scenes truth of manipulation and control became impossible to ignore. Emma's calm, truthful account stood in sharp contrast to Blake's carefully curated chaos, and the effect was seismic. Quietly and methodically, Emma reclaimed her agency, exposing a story of silencing and erasure without ever needing to call Blake out by name. Her confession served as a powerful reminder. In Hollywood, influence isn't just about who walks the red carpet. It's about who controls the narrative and who can endure being sidelined with grace. While Blake may still dominate headlines, Emma's quiet and professional approach proves that sometimes the softest voices hit the hardest.
As we all know, It Starts With Us actress Blake Lively is, of course, suing co-star Justin Baldoni for alleged sexual harassment, among many other things that went down on set there. But she's now under fire for her own, what's being described as disgusting act while filming A Simple Favor in 2008.
More and more people are coming forward, insisting that Blake absolutely needs to drop her lawsuit against Justin immediately. At this point, the evidence suggesting that she and Ryan have engaged in some questionable behavior themselves is overwhelming. Enter the legal doctrine of unclean hands, which essentially means that if you're suing someone for misconduct but have engaged in the same shady behavior yourself, the court might not look favorably on your case. For instance, if you sue someone for talking trash about you, but a video surfaces showing you doing exactly the same thing, that's considered unclean hands. While it's unclear exactly how this applies to harassment claims, since there may be special rules, the principle is straightforward. It's difficult to claim victimhood while engaging in similar behavior yourself. The situation escalated when behind-the-scenes footage from Blake's old movie, A Simple Favor, resurfaced, revealing eyebrow-raising moments. In one clip, Blake is seen laughing with the director while improvising a scene in which she grabs co-star Henry Golding's crotch. Shockingly, she came up with the idea herself, and both she and the director are cracking up about the awkwardness. Blake even comments, "I felt like my character would do that," as they joke about how she kept escalating the intensity, with the director encouraging it. Apparently, back in 2018, groping a co-star was treated as quirky and funny, at least on set. Flash forward to 2024, and Blake is now filing civil rights complaints over situations that, compared to her previous on-set antics, seem relatively minor, like the time Justin allegedly complimented her scent after she mentioned her spray tan during a slow dance scene. The contrast is stark, raising serious questions about credibility and consistency. It also explains why critics and legal analysts are scrutinizing her lawsuit so closely. How can someone claim they were subjected to inappropriate behavior when they themselves have a documented history of improvising intimate or invasive moments on set, laughing about them, and even receiving positive reinforcement from directors? The optics are terrible, and the doctrine of unclean hands could easily be invoked against her. Beyond the legal ramifications, the public narrative isn't helping Blake either. Social media is actively dissecting old clips, replaying the footage, and comparing it to her current claims against Justin, making her case appear increasingly contradictory and self-serving. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds' involvement in defending and managing the fallout adds another layer of scrutiny, with many questioning how much of the strategy is aimed at protecting Blake versus controlling the narrative. At the end of the day, the situation is rapidly becoming a cautionary tale about accountability, perception, and the fine line between past behavior and present claims. It's shaping up to be a cautionary tale about credibility, optics, and legal strategy. Claiming victimhood while evidence of similar past behavior is surfacing is a risky move, not just in court, but also in the court of public opinion. Blake could be facing not only legal pushback, but also widespread reputational damage if the doctrine of unclean hands is invoked against her.
It was Blake Lively's idea to put her hand on co-star Henry Golding's.
And get this, one of Blake Lively's arguments for having her case dismissed is that she didn't lie, she merely left out context. For example, she claims Justin came into her trailer while she was breastfeeding, conveniently leaving out that she had invited him in. Many were shocked when details surfaced about Blake's alleged ties to some of Hollywood's more underground and sinister aspects, highlighting just how selectively the media covers certain truths. Blake has been in the public eye for years, yet some of her connections to these shadowy dealings remain largely unknown. Despite this, instead of being ousted from Hollywood, she has often been protected. While everyone knows her starring roles, there's an entire hidden layer of her story that few have seen. The media tends to preserve the glamour, glitter, and fairy tale narrative, especially for stars like Blake. But this system of protection raises questions. Why are some people shielded while others are dragged through the mud for far less? It's not that Blake necessarily has a sinister past, but the way Hollywood's elite buries stories is wild. Some incidents simply vanish, never to resurface. These aren't ordinary PR moves. They're connected to influential networks, obscure family ties, and powerful figures keeping secrets buried. As for Blake's allegations against Justin, she made full-on sexual harassment claims, accusing him of taking liberties during filming, things like kissing her neck, sucking her bottom lip, touching her without permission, and making inappropriate remarks. She also alleged he discussed his porn addiction on set, commented on her weight, and claimed he could communicate with her deceased father due to spiritual beliefs, which she said caused deep emotional distress. After Emma spoke up, Justin allegedly launched a smear campaign against Blake. In response, he filed a countersuit claiming her accusations were knowingly fabricated and that she struggled to follow direction. In February 2025, Blake expanded her lawsuit, alleging that 2 other actresses also felt uncomfortable with Justin's behavior, framing her claims as part of a broader pattern. Justin released footage to support his defense, but Blake's team argued that it actually substantiates her allegations of non-consensual touching. All of this circles back to Blake's own controversial conduct, like the infamous A Simple Favor scene with Henry Golding, which continues to complicate the narrative. The legal battle is ongoing, but it's already causing ripple effects, raising questions about credibility, consent, and behind-the-scenes dynamics in Hollywood. Meanwhile, the court of public opinion is dissecting every clip and statement. Critics and fans are increasingly questioning Blake's motives, wondering whether the timing of her expanded claims and her team's messaging are strategic moves to control the narrative. Every detail, from alleged behind-the-scenes behavior to public interviews, is being scrutinized, adding layers to a story that extends far beyond one actress or one lawsuit. The complaint at the center of it all was never officially filed as a legal document. Blake didn't send it to Justin, Wayfair Studios, or anyone named in it. Instead, it was handed directly to the New York Times, bypassing the courts entirely. Suspiciously, the complaint wasn't even signed by Blake herself. It was signed by attorney Ezra Hudson, prompting speculation that the goal was narrative control rather than justice. Legal experts note that the phrasing of the claims is cautious. Blake or her team often say she believes events occurred, giving her legal wiggle room if questioned under oath, a tactic reportedly mirrored by Ryan Reynolds in trying to dismiss Justin's lawsuit. Things get even murkier with resurfaced footage from A Simple Favor, showing Blake in scenes with Henry Golding that mirrors some of the behaviors she now accuses Justin of. Baldoni's legal team reportedly plans to use this footage in court, which could influence both public perception and legal outcomes. Meanwhile, Blake's public image is under fire. Even seemingly lighthearted moments like a recent visit to a donut shop in Connecticut have been criticized. Fans noted that her long hair was completely down while handling food, a breach of basic hygiene regulations. What was intended as a relatable, sweet interaction backfired amid the ongoing legal and media scrutiny. Combined with the lawsuit, resurfaced footage, and expert commentary on her legal strategy, this incident further amplifies the narrative that Blake's carefully curated image is under unprecedented pressure. Public perception is shifting as insiders and co-stars, like Emma Stone, quietly revealed troubling behind-the-scenes stories. Hollywood and the internet alike are dissecting everything from Blake's PR maneuvers to her past on-set behavior, weighing in on her credibility, intentions, and professionalism. Between the legal drama, public missteps, and increasing revelations, Blake's carefully maintained persona appears to be cracking. The question remains, is Blake Lively truly a victim, or is this a calculated narrative unraveling? With figures like Emma subtly exposing truths, the story is far from over, and fans are watching closely for what comes next.